Well, fall is here and changes abound. The leaves turn color and drop. Children return to school and other activities. We move over the middle ground between summer and winter. In human existence, change is one of the most stressful things, whether it's in the form of good or bad changes. Yoga helps a lot by reducing our level of stress. Some things in our life don't change very much. They remain pretty much the same. For instance, my returning guest Lois Minkovitz and I met in first grade at North School in Bellingham, and we are still friends today. Welcome back, Lois.
Thank you, Marsha. I enjoy coming back again.
Today, I want to share with you some general information about yoga for those of you that are new to the subject. Yoga is a philosophy and most likely the earliest form of self-improvement. It dates back at least several thousand years and possibly longer, this being open to some debate. The language that you hear me using sometimes is Sanskrit, an ancient language of Indian/European descent. You'll hear me use some words such as Shavasana, which, by the way, sounds much better than corpse pose. Pranayama is another word you might hear me say, and this refers to the mindful breathing that we do during our yoga sessions. Asanas are the postures that we practice. There are actually 8 limbs to the practice of yoga. The asanas make up one limb, the pranayama is another limb, and these are the 2 that we are most familiar with. However, there are 6 others which we will discuss on a basic level as we move along. The word yoga itself means to yoke or unite, referring to the union of body, mind, and spirit. Sometimes we chant during yoga sessions. The most common chant, and the one most people in the Western world are familiar with, is Om. What does this mean? Well, there are many answers to that question as interpreted by different individuals or groups. It is used as a guide and a symbol for meditation, which connects man to the universe and the spiritual world. It is the sound of the infinite, and all of the sounds that the human vocal cords can produce are represented by Om, A-U-M. It is also said to represent the past, present, and future. When spoken aloud, it is physically invigorating and brings vitality. When we meditate and chant Om, we create a vibration within ourselves. Since it happens without movement of the lips, it originates within ourselves, thereby helping us to think more universally. At the end of our practice, we say Namaste. This is a way of acknowledging the divine spark that is within each of us. Namaste, in a literal translation, means I bow you. In yoga, it is also a mutual sign of respect and gratefulness between teacher and student. And now, do remember as we begin our practice that there should be no pain in yoga. So if you have pain, please go to a resting position or to a prior posture where you're comfortable. And Lois will be accommodating for her neck and shoulder issues and also recovering from a cold today. So now we will move to the mat. We begin now in Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle position. Our hips are open, our chest is open and lifted, soles of the feet are together. And just resting here. We bring attention to our breath. Noticing the inhalation and the exhalation. If you like, you can use an eye bag while you're in this position. Just allow all concerns now to drift away. The mind is on a continuous chatter from the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep. When we do yoga, we try to tame the mind a bit, bring it to the present moment. So allow your concerns to move to the side and return to your breath. Begin to deepen your inhalation and lengthen your exhalation a little more. And with your inhalation, allow a sense of stillness and spaciousness to come within. As you exhale, allow that back body to relax onto the bolster or onto your mat. And just taking several deep breaths. And just allow your feet to release from the blocks and lengthen your legs. Palms are up at your sides. In yoga, we believe that the prana, or the life energy or life force, enters through the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet, and the crown of the head. So we allow this energy to enter our body. And inhaling deeply, allow the chest to rise and lift. And then exhaling, let the back body descend. Allow the exhalation to be complete. And then for a moment, just bring your hands, the palms of your hands, to your abdomen, placing the palms down on the abdomen. And we'll begin 3-part breath and just noticing the feeling of the body as it rises and falls with the breath. So we'll begin and inhale into the abdomen, and then into the rib cage, and up into the chest. And then pausing and exhaling, chest, rib cage, abdomen. Again, inhale into the abdomen, the rib cage, and lifting the chest. All in a nice continuous movement, and then exhaling, chest, rib cage, abdomen. Exhaling fully. One more time, inhaling into the abdomen, the rib cage, expanding it laterally, and up into the chest. And then exhaling, chest, rib cage, abdomen. And just releasing the hands to the side and returning for a moment to your normal breath. And just allowing the mind to rest for a moment, to be free of worry. Worry is a robber of our time and energy, allowing us to relive things over and over. Instead, we just stay present here with the moment. And then just begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And begin to point and flex your feet. Pointing, stretching through the top, flexing, bringing the toes towards the face, but keeping the ankles and calves on the floor, and then pointing and flexing. And then taking them a little further apart and just rotating the ankles in one direction, keeping the movement slow, and then in the other direction. And then taking your feet hip distance apart and bringing the big toes together and pointing them forward, and then bringing them back and just windshield wipering the feet back and forth, opening the hips up and lubricating the ankles. And then just bring your feet to center and bring them a little closer together, not all the way, but a little bit closer. And then take your arms up, leaving your shoulders down on the bolster, and just open and close your fist, making a loose fist. This is very good for arthritis if you have that in your hands. And then bring your index finger and thumb together and just paint circles on the ceiling with that, as though you were painting circles. And just rotating the wrists, loosening them up, and then go in the other direction. And then coming to center, face the palms towards each other and reach overhead and extend through the feet and through the fingertips, as though you're being stretched from one side to the other, and trying to notice that your body is straight and aligned. And then exhale your arms down to your sides. Keep your yoga toes in position, pointing to the ceiling, but not gripping. And then take your arms and bring your elbows to the floor beside you, and your palms are facing forward. And then just attempt to bend just the first knuckles of your hand. So this knuckle, at this spot in our hands, we don't often use that. So we're just bending that knuckle on the thumb and the fingers, right at the top, the first knuckle. And then once again, just open and close your fists loosely. And then bring your arms back up. Bring them to a slight V. And point the palms to the front of the room. And then grasp at the air as though you were grasping at the air and bringing energy up from the heart center, from the heart chakra, up. You can do this vigorously. And then just bring your arms a little bit further apart in a V. Bring the palms towards each other. Bring your four fingers tight together, and then bring them briskly to the fatty palm part of your palm, the palm pads. So just again, and bringing invigoration into the arms. And the arms and fingers and hands are extensions of the heart. So we are bringing that energy up from the heart chakra for love and forgiveness. And then just shake your arms down and notice the energy flowing through your arms. And then once again, bring your palms together and bring your arms above your head. Stretch from the top to the bottom. Inhale. Exhale. So always keeping with your breath. Once again, inhaling. And exhaling the arms down by the side. And then just sit up and just move your bolster off to the side or to the top of your mat and your pillow, just setting those aside and coming flat back down on your mat. And bring one foot at a time to the mat and one knee at a time to your chest, and just rock your Rock your knees gently into your chest, warming up the lower back, and then go side to side. And then come back to center. Bring the hands to the top of the knees, fingers pointing forward, and begin to just rotate. So your feet and knees are not touching. They're about hip distance or so. And you're just making a circle as though you were painting the ceiling with your knees. So we're making a circle. And noticing the feeling of the sacrum on the mat. Coming to center and just rotating in the other direction. Preparing the back for the asanas and the positions we'll be in today. And keeping the movement fairly slow. And then coming back to center and just, if you're able, hugging the knees into the chest for a moment. And just taking a deep breath. And then allowing the knees to drop one at a time to the mat. Lengthen the legs and stretch from the fingertips through the heels. And just for a moment, keep breathing, but add a pelvic tilt here. Don't hold your breath. Keep your toes pointed towards the ceiling as though they're active. Inhale. Release the pelvic tilt and release the arms down. And then bring your feet to the floor one at a time and your knees to the chest one at a time. And once again, gently rock your knees. And then put your hands on your knees with fingertips pointed forward. Inhale as you allow your arms to stretch forward and your knees to drop as far as they'll go. Then exhaling back into the chest. Keep your feet and knees separated. Inhale forward. Let your arms stretch. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time. Let them be hip distance apart. Take your left foot and leg and cross it over your right. Take your left hand and open up your thigh a little physically. Make sure that your hip and knee are aligned. So you may have to move your ankle to wherever it should fall. And then bring that left hand to your knee and your right hand to your right knee and bring this up to your chest. Keep your shoulders down. Keep your chin nice and even. And then interlace your hands behind, bringing it in, threading the needle behind it, and lifting that leg up. Now push the sole of the foot towards the ceiling, again watching that the chin doesn't jut, and pushing that thigh into your hands. Now make circles with that foot up there. And in the other direction. And then point and flex your foot. Feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings. And then bring that foot down, cross the other one all the way over. Take your left hand to a slight T on the floor, your right to your knees, and allow your knees to fall to the right. Keep your shoulders on the ground as much as possible. Allow your head to just drift slightly to the left. Inhale to center. Uncross your legs, bring your knees to your chest, rock them gently. Bring your feet to the floor, cross your right leg over your left one. Open up your right thigh with your hand, then take your hand to your right knee, your left one to your left knee, and bring that assembly to your chest. Just feeling a nice stretch through the right outer hip and thigh. And then thread the needle through and clasp your hands behind that leg. Push the sole of the foot up to the ceiling. Push the thigh, upper thigh, into your hand. And then begin to make circles with the extended foot. And go in the other direction. And then just point and flex the foot a couple times. Feeling a nice stretch. And then just bring that left foot to the floor. Cross the other leg all the way over. Right hand comes to a slight T on the floor next to you, and take your left hand to your knees. Allow your legs to drop to the left. Let your head move slightly to the right. Inhale to center. Uncross your legs. Once again, stretch top to bottom. Exhale your arms down. Bring your feet to the floor one at a time. Bring them as close to the buttocks as possible. Place your palms down beside you. Walk your shoulder blades down and back so that they come down and back underneath you. And then pressing with the feet and the palms of your hand, lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Chin will drop to the chest. In bridge pose, Setu Bandha. And then lowering down and just pressing the small of the back and the feet into the mat. And then take your hands and just grab the sides of your mat. So again, walking your shoulders down if you're not there, and then coming up once more into bridge pose. And then coming down. And just take your belt. If you have a belt, you can use any type of a belt at home. Take your left foot to the floor. Take your right foot at the arch and bring it up. Now, arms should be long and straight, shoulders remain on the floor, grounded. The left knee is staying pointed at the ceiling. Push that thigh towards that front wall so that you feel a nice hamstring stretch. And try spreading your toes, putting the sole up towards the ceiling. Now take your belt in your right hand and stabilize your left hip with your left hand, and just let that move out to the side slightly, or as much as you can. But keep that other left knee on the at the ceiling and the hip down so that you're not coming up off the floor. Come back up, take both ends of the belt in the left hand and let that just cross over the midline a little bit. Only takes a little bit to feel that action in the IT band along the side of your leg. Come back, take both of the belt into both hands and just bring that knee into the chest. And then push it back up and extend that leg. Stretch that hamstring. And now, if you're able, lengthen the other leg. If not, stay right where you are. Bring that other left foot to the floor. Bring the other foot down and keeping the right foot on the floor. Bring your belt around the arch of the left and extend the left leg up. Just feeling a nice long stretch, keeping your arms nice and long, keeping an eye on your right knee that it's not flailing off. And then take your belt, both ends in the left hand, and let it go out to the side. Stabilize your right hip with your right hand. Keep an eye on that right knee. Feeling a stretch in the inner thigh. And then coming back, take the belt into your right hand and let it cross over slightly. Bring the foot back, take the belt in both hands, bring the knee into the chest, and then extend up again. Spread the toes, push the thigh to the front of the room. And then just release the belt down and set that to the side. And one more time, we'll lengthen feet right through the fingertips. We're always looking to extend the spine in yoga. And exhale down. And then just roll to your right side. We'll just come up to a seated position on the mat. So, going to begin in a simple seated position. So we're going to cross the legs, but you want to support your knees with blocks. So to wherever it's comfortable for you. Bring your hands to your knees, extend your spine up, and we'll begin spinal rotation. So we'll inhale forward bringing the chest through. Exhale, tucking the tummy back. Inhaling forward, you can close your eyes if you like. Coming back. Pushing the tummy out as you inhale, exhale, pulling it back. Creating energy in the fire chakra, burning toxins in our body. And then just coming back to center and going in the opposite direction. Exhaling back. Inhaling the chest forward. Exhaling back. And then just coming around to center and bringing your hands to the shins, near your ankles down the bottom. We're going to begin spinal flex by moving the chest forward, keeping it long, and then rocking back slightly, keeping the sits bones on the floor. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. This creates flexibility in our spine, very important, especially if you're getting older, but for everyone, of course. And also breaks up tension in the upper back. And then just coming back and remove your blocks and lengthen your legs. And just begin to tap your legs. And then take your fingertips and just place them right out to the side and to the rear, and lift to let your shoulders descend as your crown lifts to the head, going for that extension of the spine. In yoga, we believe that prana energy runs along that spine, so keep blockages open, stretching the spine. And then relaxing. And then moving your hands to the front. Now we're going to lengthen the legs, we're going to lengthen the torso, extend the arms up as close to your ears as possible, press the knuckles of the feet and the heels and balls of the feet towards the front of the room, and then reach forward without rounding the back, lift the chest, keep the sternum lifted, inhale deeply, create space as you do. And exhaling, if you can, fold a little more wherever you can come, and feeling a nice stretch in your hamstrings. And then releasing and coming up, and just widening your feet a little bit, just about a little more than hip distance. Take your right leg and just lift behind the knee, so gently lifting that and bringing the sole of the foot to the other thigh. The opposite thigh. Again, keeping that foot extended, lengthen the sides of the torso, turn the navel towards that leg, reach forward, and then reach down and lift the chest. And just breathe here. And then walking your hands back, extend that right leg. Bring the left leg by lifting gently behind the knee, bring the sole of the foot there. On your right foot, keep those knuckles of the toes and the heel pushing forward. Extend and lengthen your torso. Turn your navel towards that leg. Reach out and then down and lift the chest. Don't allow the chest to collapse or the back to round. And breathing, always breathing. And then coming back, walking it back, extend the other legs, extend the feet away from each other as far as you can, and just reach forward, lift the chest. And then bring your feet, the soles of your feet together for a moment. Again, lifting the chest, holding the feet. And then just take your feet and open them as though they were a book. So just trying to open, and you'll feel that extra movement in the groin area. Release, lengthen the legs, tap the legs. Just rotate those ankles a little. And the other direction. Now take your right leg and bring your knee into your chest. Keep the left toes pointed at the ceiling. Take your left arm, wrap it around your leg, and let that right arm relax and drop behind you. Extend up and turn as you twist. Inhale again, lengthen. And if you can, twisting a little more. If not, staying right where you are, always honoring your body. And then releasing that leg down, bring the left knee up to your chest. Keep your yoga toes on the other foot pointed up. Take your right arm, wrap it around your leg, let the left drop behind you. Inhaling and lengthening. Exhaling and twisting. And then taking it back to center. And just once again, bring yourself to a simple seated cross-legged position. Bring your left hand to the floor beside you. Bring your right arm right up next to your ear and just allow yourself to bend sideways. So you're feeling a stretch to the side body. Let your torso be perpendicular. Inhale up, bring that arm down and the other arm up and just move to the side. Keep the buttocks on the floor. And then inhaling and coming back to center, reach in front of you, round the spine. Tuck the tummy back. Walk back. Take your right hand to your left knee. Inhale and lengthen your torso. Let the left hand drop behind you as you move to the side in a twist. Squeezing the internal organs, burning toxins from the body. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale. Take your left hand to your right knee. Allow the opposite arm to drop behind. Lengthen. Twist. Also getting rid of old emotions, stale emotions. And then coming back to center. And we'll move to a cat-cow position on the floor, table position. So we start in table with the shoulders directly over the wrist. Hips directly over the knee, forming a nice square. And we inhale our head up, flat back. Exhale, tuck and round the back, lengthen the arms. Inhale forward, drop the back, bring the head up. Exhale, tuck and round the back. Inhale forward. Exhale, round and tuck the back up. Back to central position, head is up, tap the tops of the feet. Lots of acupuncture points in the feet, so we're just bringing energy there. And then coming to center. Take the left foot and reach back, curl the toes under and stretch that leg. Rock it back and forth a little bit. And then coming back to the position, see if you can bring that leg over the other one, but don't lose the box position that you're in with your table. Just giving a stretch through that left hip. And then coming back over and back into position. Reach with the other foot, curl the toes under. Rock that back foot a little bit. Just really feels good on the feet. And then coming back to a central position and just crossing over with that foot. And then coming back to table. And just release for a moment to child's position, toes apart, big toes together, knees apart, and just allowing the head to rest. If you need to, you can always bring a pillow or block under. You want your buttocks as close as possible to your feet. And just releasing those wrists, so moving those, just to give them a little break. And then coming up again to table. We're going to raise our left hand and our right foot. And you're going to keep your gaze about a foot or so in front of you on the mat or wherever is comfortable for you. Pushing down with the top of that left foot to stabilize in sunbird. Bring that back. Take the opposite hand and the opposite foot up. Keep your shoulder over your wrist, hip over your knee. Come back down, take it to the other side one more time. Lift and stretch that back leg and begin to rotate that front arm if you can. Coming back to position, reaching with the other hand, reaching that foot and then beginning to rotate that arm. And then coming back to the middle position. Just for a moment, sit back and stretch your arms in front of you. And then rest your head and bring your arms behind you. And then we're going to just take our blankets off the mat. And we'll come back to a table position. And then moving our hands forward, pressing down, the index finger pointing forward, all the knuckles are on the floor and the palm, and tuck your toes and come up into down dog, if you're able. Now those with shoulder or neck conditions may find this difficult, and Lois is modifying her position. I'll be moving into a plank pose right here where the shoulders come directly over the wrist, gaze is a little bit in front of the mat. And if you're able, drop your left leg down to the knee and turn your feet on the side, reaching up with one arm so the arms are directly across from each other. And then coming down, back to that position. I'm going to come back to down dog. Lifting the buttocks towards the back wall, then back into plank pose. And if you like, you can drop that knee, or otherwise you can stay right on the side. So there's a modification by dropping the knee on side plank and then coming back down. And we'll just come up to standing on them. We begin in Tadasana by checking to make sure our feet are even and parallel. We tighten the thighs, pull the tummy to the spine, let the shoulders come back slightly and the chest forward slightly. Extend the fingers down as the crown lifts to the ceiling. Don't allow your chin to come up, just the crown of your head. And just take a deep breath. Now we'll inhale our arms up. Lift the toes. Exhale them down. Inhale again, lift your toes. Exhale down. Come up halfway and up on your toes. And then relaxing down. Now inhale, bring your palms out. Exhale your palms to the top of your thighs and just come to a half table. So you're pressing back slightly on the top of your thighs to release the lower back. You're extending the crown, it's leading. The crown of the head is leading to a half table position. Now just coming up, bring your hands to your lower back and push the pelvis forward as you come into a baby back bend. An invigorating, stimulating pose. Come back to center. Inhale again. Bring the palms out. Exhale down. Bring them back to the top of your thighs. Again, coming down. But this time, if you like, you can stay at half, or you can come down a little further into forward fold. Now you're bringing your weight forward on the front part of your feet now. And then bringing your hands back up to the back of your lower back again, and just once again pressing the pelvis forward. Coming to center, inhale again. Palms out, exhaling down. And just coming to a central position. Now we're going to step wide. Feet are even and parallel. Torso is nice and straight. We're going to turn the right foot out all the way, the left one in slightly. But bring your torso to the front of the room. Extend and inhale Extend those arms out. And then with your right hand, reach forward and cut back with the hips so that you come down into Trikonasana. One arm being directly above the next, coming as much as you can, as far as you can. In Trikonasana, we're opening the throat, shoulders, chest, and hips. Strengthening the legs and torso. This is good for sciatica. It's good for digestion, circulatory system. Coming, inhaling, coming back up, extending, exhaling, bending that forward knee, coming into Warrior Two, gazing out over your right hand. Make sure that your knee stays directly over your ankle. It's okay if it's back like this, but you don't want to be extended over your knee to protect your knee. Lift that arch in the back. Keep that left leg engaged. Keep the arms at shoulder level or below. Now bring that right forearm down to the bent knee and extend your arm over and up. Lift the ribs up slightly. In Utthita Parsvakonasana, or extended side angle. Here we're opening up the hips and groin area. Very strong, keeping those legs connected to the floor nicely, grounded. And then coming, inhaling, and coming back up. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring your feet to center. Take a nice deep inhalation. Nice deep exhalation. And then turn the left foot out all the way. Right one in slightly. Face your torso to the front. Inhale, extend your arms. Keep your torso nice and perpendicular. Reach with that left arm forward and then bring it down and the other arm comes up. Trikonasana. This builds focus. Good for stress, good stress reducer. Keep that back leg engaged. Inhale up. Extend. Exhale, bend that forward knee. Gaze out over your hand, keeping your arms straight but your fingers and shoulders soft. Keep that back thigh lifted. The right one remains parallel to the floor. Then bring that front forearm down and reach over an extended side angle. If you can, you look up slightly towards your thumb, depending on your shoulder and neck issues. And then coming back up. Turn to the center and come together. Walk in or bring your feet together. And now we'll just move to the front of the mat. You'll probably need a little more room, Lois, so you need to move up closer. I know, that's right. Okay, and then we're going to make sure again that we're centered and grounded as we move into Uttanasana or chair pose. So we're going to point your fingertips down and just lower yourself down as though you were sitting in a chair. And then bring your arms up as close to possible in front of your ears. Now we're keeping the feet, the weight of the feet, weight comes towards the back of the feet now. If you have shoulder issues, keep your arms down lower. And just comfortably taking a breath here in Uttanasana. This is a great dynamic stretch where you're reaching up, but you're also grounding down with the hips. And then bring your arms behind you. Can you bring your arms behind you and interlace them and lift a little bit on those arms to open the chest? And then release the arms, bring them to prayer position in front of you. And then bend and bring your, and bring your elbow to the opposite thigh. Come back to center. Go the opposite way. Come back to center. Come up and release the arms. Tap the legs out. Inhale and round the shoulders. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale back. Bring the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, ha, ha. Inhale up. Exhale, ha, ha. One more time up. Exhale, ha, ha. And then once more, coming to the side, and we'll put our blankets back down. We'll lay down, do a little more stretching, a little more work on the floor. Just bring your bolster near the lower part of your body. We'll use that for Shavasana after. And just keep the pillow nearby too. And we'll just take a full body stretch here. Exhaling down. Bring your feet to the floor one at a time. Take your hands palm down on the mat and allow your legs to drop to the right as your head moves to the left. Keep your shoulders on the ground. Inhale to center. Press your feet in the small of the back in. Let the legs drift to the left, the head to the right. And then inhale back up. Now keep your palms down, bring both knees to the chest as we work the abdominals. Allow your knees to go to the right. Your shoulders, keep them on the floor, so don't go any further than you can go. So we're working just the abdominals. Come back to center. Other side. Back up. Drop the feet one at a time, lengthen the body and stretch. And then exhaling down. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time. Bring the knees to the chest one at a time and gently. And then bring your feet to the floor. And we will bring the bolster underneath the thighs and the pillow underneath your head for Shavasana, or just lie flat on your mat, depending on what props you have at home. And just relaxing for a few moments, allowing the body to relax. Bringing our attention once more to our breath. We're just noticing the inhalation and the exhalation. Noticing the rise and the fall. And while you rest here on the mat, I will read you a little something. Changing seasons can be a metaphor for life itself. Life is filled with change and transitions. Perhaps these are natural processes of growing up and growing older. We welcome many changes with eager anticipation. Self-discoveries, new relationships, finding a satisfying career, a new home, spiritual awakenings. But some changes are unwelcome intrusions, loss of relationships, changes in home life and personal life, work or financial setbacks, health challenges. All are a part of our normal life journey. How we handle them can make all the difference in life. We need our transition times so that we won't get stuck in the past. We may not welcome every transition in life, but we do have a choice in how we will respond. Those who look ahead with hope to the new season are happier people and are always able to find some good in every situation. So just resting. Allowing your feet to relax. Letting the thighs and the calves be heavy on the floor or on your bolster. Let the abdomen be soft and all the internal organs relax. Let your arms be heavy, the shoulders descending, the chest lifting and opening, the love and forgiveness and compassion and courage. Relax all your fingers. Relax your neck and feel the weight of the head upon the mat. Soften your face. Release the corners of your mouth and the corners of your eyes. And just relax your mind. And just begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then just roll to your right side. And just rest there a moment with the feeling of gratitude. And then begin to bring yourself up to a simple seated position, retaining your sense of calmness and peace. Bring your hands to heart center. Press the thumb and the pinky finger together. Inhale and raise and open the 3 middle fingers. Bring this above the crown of your head. And allow the lotus blossom to fill with blessings. Exhale, bring the hands back together and bring this into your heart center. Bow the busy thinking mind to the inner wisdom of the heart. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.